So far, we've shared the inspiring stories of this year's YWCA Tribute Award winners in the areas of arts, wellness, professions, and even introduce you to a super achieving student.
And now we'd like to introduce you to a woman who rises to the top when it comes to responding to the needs of children.
Candace Cowling is the Tribute Award winner for advocacy.
A lot of times I have people say, how can you possibly do the work that you're doing? It must be so frustrating. And it's not, actually. In large part, it's energizing because we are working on stopping it before it ever gets started. So that part of it. I've seen kids and the results if we're not successful. So it's a huge motivator. If you know the cost of not being successful, it makes you celebrate when you have those successes even more so. And why is it that some kids, despite the terrible circumstances, are able to survive it and thrive actually with it, whereas other kids, that's not the case. And so that's why it's important, even if we aren't able to stop all abuse and neglect, the ability to be there in children's lives and give that extra support so that down the road they may benefit from that as well. What is really hard about some of the work that we do, some people are asking about, that family's not going to change. But there are times where we're talking about the next generation. We may be in the homes helping families and supporting them, but it really is, we're looking towards making sure that kid is safe, is able to feel supported as that family can provide for where they're at, and we're looking for the next generation to do just a little bit better. And that sometimes is really the success. Everybody has a role that they can play in this, whether it's reaching out to the neighbor who can use some support in time of stress, whether it's writing the all-important checks to nonprofits that are doing the work, whether it's supporting policies that are supportive of families. There's something that we can always do, but I think what's important is not so much the answer sometimes as the question, what's best for children? I think we lose sight of that question, and if everybody walked away from here today and they're thinking in their mind, what's best for children? And they kept thinking it and kept thinking it and kept acting on it, then I think we would see a different community.
And Candace Cowling is here with us today. We're talking about just the incredible work that you do. And as moms, Rachel and I are just wondering, how difficult, how challenging is it for you to be in the position where you're really helping the tiniest, the littlest, the most vulnerable in our society?
Well, when we see the headlines, the terrible headlines, it just tears you apart. But fortunately, the work that we do, we're involved in really stopping those negative things from happening before they ever get started. We work with parents on a daily basis to help them be successful and help their kids thrive. So it's very rewarding, actually. And there's so many people in this community who come together to work on behalf of children.
Mm-hmm. The economic situation of West Michigan and our entire country is not the best it's ever been. How much has that played into the amount of children and families that you come into contact with?
We're seeing demand for support and services greater than ever. Families who wouldn't normally reach out for support and services who are reaching out to us, so it's really important. We also see that families that need information, and just the little things make big differences, so we try to cover the whole spectrum.
And for you, how have you changed? How have you seen things evolve? You've been in this field more than a decade. How have you seen things change? Are you more hopeful?
It's mixed. I'm generally an optimistic individual, so always looking at what we can achieve. When I see parents who are really working hard to be the best parents they can be, that inspires me. When people come together on behalf of children, that inspires me. It is challenging, though, in these very difficult times, and so it's a little bit of a mix. And in the advocacy area that I work especially, a lot of times the policies that we try some things and some things work, and then we realize that there are some consequences for that, so it's a never-ending effort to try to improve the situation for families.
Yeah, there are challenges, there are benefits. How could somebody in the community that's maybe watching step up and help in this amazing, I guess, challenges that we're facing as a community? How can other people be a part of it to make your job easier?
There are a lot of ways for people to help out. And again, sometimes it's the littlest things that make a difference. They can volunteer their time. They can give support to organizations. Our organization, Child and Family Resource Council, we rely on a lot of volunteers, parents reaching out to parents and providing support. They can also just look within their own circle of friends and families that they know and see how they can reach out there. But I do think the biggest thing is to continue to ask the question, what's best for children, and then act on that in whatever area of influence that you happen to have.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for being here with us today. Congratulations on your
it's quite an honor.
much-deserved award, and we know that you're going to continue to do great things for the kids in our community, so thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, and thanks to the Y. They do great work.
Oh, they're amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll be right back.